mentioned you bought your Switch just
Yeah.
and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah, same,
So,
like on release day as well. Like I'm
oh,
really
on
eager,
release day.
really eager to
Did you
do
get
that.
the special edition?
If only there were strings I could pull.
Oh, really? So you haven't even got it yet. So,
No, I just bought the game. I just bought it. Yeah, I
have
just
you
bought
played?
the whole
You
thing.
played it, right?
Well, I've played a bit. This is the thing. I am going to stream it. I've joined Twitch and I have a Twitch channel and haven't done anything on it yet, but I was very lucky that the guys from Outside Xbox have helped me know how the hell you stream a thing. So I'm actually going to start streaming the game, and I'm going to go obviously from the beginning. I have played it a little bit to try and figure out, because I'm so bad at games. I have played it a little bit to like figure out the basics. And then I got a little bit too into it. And then I realized I had to start cutting cutscenes, like just skipping cutscenes. Because I was like, I can't see this yet. I can't see this yet. I probably should have waited, but I couldn't wait. I was too excited. I have put some hours into it, but not that many. And
Okay.
my competence level is not that great. Just the opening of it, the world design, the aesthetic, the music, it's just it just blew me away. So I am very excited to do more of it on my Twitch.
So, do you have your Twitch handle ready yet?
I do. It's twitch.com/Harry McEntire.
You know what would be really cool when you do this Twitch channel is it's like a cutscene, but there's no spoken dialogue from the voice actors. It's just the text bubbles. It'd be really cool if you're reading you're reading out loud Noah's lines.
That would be fun. That would be fun. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, I mean, it all came about because I thought that I know that you don't have a title for a series necessarily on Twitch, but I wanted to call it Harry McEntire Plays with Himself, which I just thought was so funny. I couldn't avoid doing it. And then I put it out on Twitter. I was like, would this be fun? Would people like to see this? Would this be good? And the response was lovely. So yeah, so it's going to be happening.
Oh, absolutely.
Weeks, I hope.
I mean, I'm not one who watches other people play games. I'm one of those active participants myself.
Yeah.
But I actually taken my time one day to watch one of the voice actors play through one of the games she's done. She did Final Fantasy VII Remake. She actually, I think she got emotional when she was playing it, when she heard her voice, for the first time and seeing it all together with the music and everything.
That's my concern. Not that she should be ashamed of it. I think it's a beautiful thing, but my concern is my inability to be cool about it. So just be like,
yeah, she lost it. It was but it was genuine. I mean, you could relate with her that she put in a lot of work and she was happy to see the end result all come together. The music, the character, just everything,
That's the thing, man.
So I'm sure you probably thought a bit when you were playing through Xenoblade Chronicles 3, you see it all come together at the end.
It's like he says, not having children, but it's a little bit like you wait all that time to have a baby and you just hope it comes out beautiful. And when it does, I mean, I'd probably think it was beautiful anyway. But yeah, it's the best.
All right, moving on to Dungeons and Dragons. You seem like you have a love for it. We talked about it before we even started recording this. You obviously played it more. Do you play as a DM or the other way? You do both.
So my journey into Dungeons and Dragons actually came out of a period of depression. I had finished Last Kingdom and I wasn't in a very good place at all, and was quite unwell. And through a combination of many factors, like therapy and medicine and the support of all the people around me, and I started hitting a heavy bag in a boxing. in a gym doing boxing. But one of the main things that really helped was Dungeons and Dragons. It was being creative, it was escapism, and it was also the realization at a time when I didn't really want to see anybody or do anything, that my creativity was only useful because it was helping somebody else. So I wrote a campaign or wrote a setting, and a few of my best friends play in that setting with me, and we have now been playing for nearly 4 years. This one campaign that I've written, and like I said, the amazing thing was it gave me an opportunity to escape. I started listening to a podcast called Not Another D&D Podcast, because there's some people from College Humor were on it, particularly a guy called Jake Hurwitz, who I'm like a really big fan of the stuff that he does. And I started listening to it, and all I wanted to do was just be in that world. And then I started going, I think this could be a really good thing for me to do. And my friends, out of like love and support, were like, okay, we'll play. If you need people to play, we'll play. And I have like a Google Doc of the setting, and that's now well over 200 pages of A4.
Wow.
They're still only like mid-game. They're like level 11. We've been playing for 4 years, and it's the biggest creative undertaking I've ever had. It's the most rewarding thing in my non-work life that I've ever done. I'm a huge advocate of it for the power of community and role play. Like D&D is therapy. I mean, I don't think D&D should be therapy necessarily. Like, I think therapy should be therapy, but like and every game you don't want to have like the DM or the player like working out their own issues at the table. But it's, the idea that I had to also, as a DM, you have to divorce yourself from the idea of perfection. Because if I write the perfect setting and the perfect session, then I'm stealing my players of their agency, because they have to play it the way I wrote it. Whereas instead, I'm writing all this stuff and saying, come mess it up. Like, come do stuff that I'm not expecting and change it and collaborate with me on it. And
Right.
so we play. So, I mean, I made up that I did stuff that I wouldn't recommend a new DM doing. Like, I came up with my own pantheon of gods, just completely unnecessary. Use a regular pantheon. I came up with my own maps and gods and everything. I haven't, apart from stat blocks, I haven't taken anything from resources. It's all been completely from me. We play that once a month, and we play another campaign that I've also DM, which is the same world 1,000 years before, and we play that once a month. And then my friend wrote a campaign that we play once a month.
Since you're an actor,
yeah,
how is it for your friends when you're actually role playing?
I super commit to the role playing, and when I DM, I do lots. I have little voice notes often for my characters.
Nice.
And I try to like have kind of, so all my dwarves are either Celtic influenced or Scandinavian. And then like some kind of a mixed families, so they kind of have a hybrid accent. Although my friends did recently that we were playing, and they were like, this person will either be really stupid or really evil because Harry's doing a posh voice. And I was like, damn, I do need to kind of work on that. I play with someone else who's an actor, so that's good. And then my other friends are like architects and teachers and work in charities. So it took a while for us to kind of figure out how we like to play. We all came to it through listening to D&D. So we don't play with a battle map. It's all theater of the mind, if you like.
Gotcha. But can you tell us, are there any other upcoming projects that you are working on at the moment?
None that I can talk about. Some dubby stuff, some gamey stuff, but nothing I can talk about. But they can visit my Twitch channel, twitch.com/Harry McEntire, and watch me play Xenoblade Chronicles 3 in a series called Harry McEntire Plays with Himself.
Yeah, do follow that, because I mean, especially if you're reading the silent parts that, I mean, that's extra bonus that the people get. They get extra voice acting. It's like DLC content, for free.
Also, will be improvised because I won't have seen it before.
Oh, yeah. But it's still nonetheless DLC content for free.
Absolutely. That's voice DLC.
And with closing, I meet loads of people who are aspiring. They want to be actors, or they want to be a voice artist or whatnot. So do you have any advice for anybody that's trying to get into the field?
I always feel like practical advice is kind of not useless. That's a terrible thing to say. Practical advice is less useful than it can appear, because everyone's journey into acting is so idiosyncratic. And, so people say, like, how did you get into it? And I go, oh, well, when I was 5, I went to a village near a town where I grew up, and I was taught singing and dancing and acting. And the people who ran that ended up buying an agency, and they signed me when I was 17. And it's like, well, you can't repeat that series of events. It's just so full of idiosyncrasies. So in terms of practical advice, just try to make work. Even if it's free and you're collaborating with your friends, try to make work. But in terms of mental and emotional advice, 2 things. One is comparison is the thief of joy. Just because someone else is doing something it's not a reflection on you. Just focus on your own lane and work hard and enjoy it and be kind to yourself. And the other thing is, learn as early as you can that rejection of your work is not rejection of your soul, because it can be very difficult. You know, I have friends who go for job interviews and they don't get the job, and they're working in a kind of more conventional industry, and it's devastating for them. And as an actor or a voice actor, if you're lucky, if you have if you audition 4 times a week, what an incredible week. That's amazing. That's an incredible week. And you probably won't get any of those jobs. And so you're being rejected 4 times a week, or once a week, or 3 times a month, or maybe even twice a year, because you're not able to get those auditions. And a rejection of the work that you're doing in that moment, a rejection of your specific version of a specific character, is not rejection of your humanity, your artistic creativity, or your ability to succeed. It's not reflective of those things. So be kind to yourself and fill your life with things you love that aren't acting, and people who love you, whether or not you're acting. And that way, when, as I would hope it would, the success comes, you're in a really balanced and grounded place for it.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. McEntire. I should just call you Harry, right?
Yeah.
No, that's really good advice. Thank you for sharing everything, all the way from Dungeons and Dragons, Xenoblade, even Last Kingdom. I mean, we covered loads of stuff. So, really cool career you got there. And
Thank you so much.
And I wish you the best on the future endeavors. And yes, do check out the Twitch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, man. It's an absolute pleasure. I really appreciate it. Thank you.